They're the New York Predators of Staten Island, New York, taking on the New Jersey Wolves of Plainfield, New Jersey, in a game that was held on a very special day at Sabella Park in North Brunswick, New Jersey, recognizing the life of Rayshon Myers, a former New Jersey Wolves player who very sadly passed away in a car accident approximately 3 years ago. Now, of course, the Predators were the 2014 champions. The New Jersey Wolves won it in 2012 and 13. Let's go to the highlights as Mike Purnell is at quarterback for the New Jersey Wolves. He takes the snap on the opening drive and looks for Daryl Luck along the near side. Ends up throwing an incompletion thanks to some strong pressure along the front line by the Predators. Now to Casey Nunez. He's the quarterback for the Predators who stands in the pocket. He rolls over to his left and finds a wide open number 85 who's able to get about 8 yards on the play, but is tackled after he steps out of bounds, which costs the New Jersey Wolves another 15 yards. But not to worry, the Wolves defense decided to tighten up right after that. As you can see, Nunez was in the shotgun, but number 55 of the Wolves ends up sacking him for about an 8-yard loss. Turns out 55 had 2 sacks on the day out of the 3 the Wolves recorded on defense. So the Wolves get it back, and you'll see a very nice run by Daryl Luck, who plows up the middle and manages to get a good 13 yards on the play, trying to set up the Wolves in scoring first in this contest. Purnell is looking on a pass play here on 2nd and 11 from the 20-yard line of the Predators, and is looking for Patrick Coburn, but overshoots him, so the pass ends up being incomplete. So a little bit later on, a field goal is tried by Ryan Dowgan, who ends up trying a 38-yard field goal along the left hash mark, and he belts it through. And late in the first quarter, Dowgan's 38-yard field goal gave the New Jersey Wolves a 3-0 lead. You have to consider that the play before they got hit with a false start, it would have been a 33-yard field goal, but Dowgan was able to make it from 38. On the last play of the first quarter, here's a guy you need to know. Daquan Williams. Great run along the far sideline for 20 yards to about the 48-yard line. He finished with only 58 yards on the ground, but a little bit later on you'll see how important he was to this Predators team today. So quarter time came and went, and the Wolves had a 3-0 lead on the Predators. Now as we go into second quarter highlights, we switch sides, and we will show you a great defensive play by the New Jersey Wolves. Here's Casey Nunez in the shotgun between split backs. He looks to throw up the middle, but telegraphing that is Greg Onyuke, who is involved in both of the turnovers that the New Jersey Wolves were able to recover. This one, the interception, which falters the Predators' drive to get points, and the Wolves were back at it again. But play continued to be rather chippy. Mike Purnell in the shotgun on this next play looks out for Patrick Coburn, veteran receiver for the Wolves, ends up getting 18 yards and then thrown down after he gets out of bounds. So the Predators end up giving 15 free yards to the Wolves, and in a very chippy first half, lots of penalties to be had. As a matter of fact, both teams combined for 26 penalties in the game, 13 on each side, and as you saw, that's at least 2 personal foul plays after the play was over. So, needless to say, very excitable play on both sides. Now here's Purnell trying to get a pass play out, but he ends up losing it in the pocket, and here is one of the defenders for the Predators ending up sacking him for a good 8-yard loss. So even though the Wolves got as far as the Predator 40-yard line, they ended up going backwards from here on in. And now for a moment as we remember the late Rayshon Myers.
Quiet for a second, please. Today we out here celebrating the life of Rayshon Myers. He touched a lot of people, so every year, 7/17, that clock rolling too, by the way. 7/17, we observe a moment of silence for him, we let some balloons go. So, just everybody, moment of silence for my boy, one time at a time. There we go. Thank you.
A very classy tribute to the late Rayshawn Myers, who only lived to be 28 years old. He passed away back on August 11th in 2012 in a very tragic car accident. He's originally from the New Brunswick area. Now, as we get back to live action, here is Nunez throwing a pass incomplete. The ball was tapped, but somehow there was a hit way up high toward the end of the play, which resulted in a 15-yard penalty against the New Jersey Wolves, and it actually kept the Predator drive alive. But unfortunately for the Predators, they were unable to convert that into points. So as you can see, the official signaling the personal foul against the Wolves, one of many on both team sides in this contest. But I told you how important this early season contest was between the previous two MLF champions. Now the Wolves have the ball up 3-0. Here's a pass to Jamel Piles, number 5, who again gets thrown out of bounds well after the play is over, and that gave another 15 yards to the Wolves, as unfortunately that has been pretty much the theme for the entire first half. 15-yard penalty after 15-yard penalty. This time, that basically kept the drive going for the New Jersey Wolves. Now they drive as far as the 24-yard line, and on this play in the I formation, Darryl Luck strikes again. And he's able to go around to the outside all the way to the 11-yard line for a gain of 14 yards on the play. And this sets up the only touchdown for the New Jersey Wolves. On 2nd and 8 from the 9, here's Purnell finding a wide open Ronald Carney, the veteran tight end, backpedals his way into the end zone, adding a Dalgan extra point. The New Jersey Wolves took a 10-0 lead, and that was the halftime score from North Brunswick. So everything seemed to look very, very good for the Wolves as they went into the locker room with a 2-score lead. But little did they know what the third quarter was going to bring. The Predators received the ball to start the second half, and on the third play from scrimmage, here's Casey Nunez lobbing it to Daquan Williams. Remember I talked about him a couple minutes ago? Here's why. That strong, that fast, that elusive, and that gone. 53 yards into the end zone, and just like that, the defending champions decide to punch the time clock and show up for work. With the extra point by Wallach, the Wolves' lead was cut to 10-7. And that was an enormous play. You could pretty much say it was a turning point of this game because the Predators really got some momentum there. Now back to the Wolves as they got their first possession of the second half. Purnell was able to find Piles along the far sideline for a very important first down, and that was able to keep the drive alive. But unfortunately, a little bit later, Purnell was going to look to try and respond to the score by the Predators, and unfortunately for Purnell, he overthrows Jamel Piles very badly at the midfield stripe on third down, and the Wolves were forced to punt. But not for long, though, for the Wolves, because here's Nunez trying to find his receiver, who ends up catching it at about the 40-yard line on a 3rd and 7. That was a huge play because that kept the drive going, at least for the moment, for the New York Predators. And I meant to say not for long on the Wolves side because here they come up with an enormous play at the Wolves' 48-yard line. Here's Nunez looking to throw a pass. It's caught and then stripped by Kenneth Tippett. And here is Greg Onyuke, who had the interception earlier. He's able to return to the 39-yard line. But an illegal block in the back after the fumble recovery set the Wolves 10 yards further back. So at three-quarter time, the New York Predators still trailed by 3, the Wolves still up 10-7, and then things got crazy. Here is Purnell on a 3rd and 7 following a play where offsetting penalties were committed. Number 99 breaks through like a freight train and sacks Purnell for a huge 8-yard loss. And I'll tell you why this is a huge play. Because on the very next play, the Wolves punt, and this is the beginning of the Kareem Moon Show. And boy, did Moon shine. And no, he wasn't drunk. He ran as fast as he could around the far sideline, and good night, Irene, and everybody else on the Wolves sidelines. A 74-yard punt return for a touchdown, and the New York Preadtors took the lead by a count of 14-10. You talk about Kareem Moon being such an explosive player, that kind of exemplified it. Then, on the very next punt by the New Jersey Wolves on their ensuing possession, here's Kareem Moon again, catching it at about the 29-yard line, and away he went on the far sideline again, this time for about a 30-yard return all the way to the Wolves' 41-yard line. So that was Act 2 of the Kareem Moon show. And then after that, here's Act 3. Casey Nunez in the shotgun from the 39-yard line steps up and throws a deep one to Moon, who catches it at the 15, does a somersault, breaks 2 Wolves tackles, and everyone else is falling to pieces. A 39-yard touchdown reception for Kareem Moon, added a 2-point conversion by their backup quarterback. McClain ended up catching the 2-point conversion. That made it 22-10. As a matter of fact, it was Figueroa who threw the 2-point conversion. And then finally, last chance for the New Jersey Wolves late in the fourth quarter, trying to cut the 12-point deficit. Here's Purnell throwing a pass at 99 bats and 44 intercepts, and that was that. The New York Preadtors were winners 22-10 over the New Jersey Wolves as they ran out the clock right after that. As you will see, you'll see statistics as far as the game is concerned in just a couple of minutes, and many thanks to Howard Gaber from HSG Productions for providing all the statistics for you.